Hi, I'm Wendy Gardiner, and I want to introduce you to the Milward Adjustable Dress Forms. Being adjustable means that you can actually create a body double that's almost you, which means that when you're dressmaking, you can get garments to fit perfectly. Now, when you get it out of the box, you will find it's got lots of pieces that need to be put together. You'll have 4 of these feet, and they slot into this base very easily. There's a groove there, a notch there, and up it goes. Nice and sturdy once it's all together. You also have a hem marker, the base pole, which has the markings on it, and then the top pole that the actual dress form fits onto. And of course, you have the address form. So first of all, we put the hem marker onto the base pole, and then put the base pole into the base there. You can move the hem marker up and down and lock it into place. This pole then goes onto the top, and then on top of that, you put the dress form. As you can see on this, you have 2 front dials here, and on the sides and the back, you have 3. So there are 11 points of adjustment on the body. You can also adjust the neck, and you can also adjust the waist height. So if you're long-waisted, you can separate the body slightly, and then you can make it fit you. This is all about making a dress form perfect for you. I'm also going to show you some inner parts of the dress form before I put it together, just to make it a lot easier when you do it at home. So inside the dress form, you'll see you've got 2 dials on the pole that you're going to attach to the long pole. The first one, the bottom one, is the one that you adjust, just lock it in place when you've got the dress form on the pole. And the one just above that, it's more like a wheel, that's the one that you turn to loosen so that you can increase the waist length. And then once you've increased it or decreased it to what you want, you lock it in place. So to adjust the sides, you just roll the wheels down and that opens out. So down and out. And the really good thing about these, lovely and easy to wheel, is either side you will see a little bit of white tape. Now, if you want to use this dress form for more than just one person, you could have one set of measurements on one side of that, and then you could write another set of measurements, maybe in a different colour, on the other side. And just one more thing before you buy, take your own measurements, bust, waist and hips, and then look at the 2 sizes, the small and medium, and buy the one that most closely resembles your size. And then, of course, you can do all these adjustments, which I'm going to show you how to do to make it fit you. Now it's all set up, the next job is to do the adjustments. Now, the best way to do this is to take your measurements, as I said earlier, and then measure the dress form. Now, I prefer to do it in halves. So measure from the side seam across the bust to the side seam, and then again for the back. Doing it in 2 halves means that if you have got a fuller figure, maybe a fuller bust, maybe a tummy, maybe a bigger derriere, by doing it in halves, you can adjust the bit that you need to the amount you need. If you do it in the round, what you would end up with, say for a fuller bust, is it being too big on the sides and too big on the back and too big on the chest. So for the front dials, we turn them clockwise to open them out. Press in the little white dial there and we can open them out. And then you can start doing the sides. Remember, down is out, and the back. So you've got all of these different areas that you can adjust to open it up. You keep on doing that, and then you keep on remeasuring and remeasuring. Now, if you have got a fuller bust, there's 2 things to note. One, bust point. You measure from your shoulder down to the apex or the fullest part of your bust. Check that that measurement on the dress form is the same as it is on you, and the chances are it won't be, because these are a little bit pert for most people. So you might need to put on a bra on the dress form and adjust the bra height so that it's perfect for you. So to help do that, I like to make sure that the dress form height is the same as me as well. Now, if you remember, I showed you there was a dial on the body that I can open and just drop it down a bit until it's the right height, tightening it up. And then it's the right height. And that way I can check that that bust is at the same point as me. But let me show you how you adjust it to fit you if you've got a fuller figure. So I have put on a bra and I have padded it with toy stuffing. So now, rather than having opened it all up to get this fuller figure that I need, and so many of us do, I've actually done it and created it by putting on a bra which I've padded. Because it's at the right height, I can also check that it's the right height for me. I've also opened up the waist, so I pulled this down because my waist is lower than it was on the dress form. Now this now means that I can fit garments much more easily. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that in just a minute. But the other thing I wanted to say is I've opened it all up all the way round. Now you might find that what you'd like to actually do is have a clearer, smoother outline. So you can do that by wrapping it in some wadding. And then you've got a nice smooth outline. And the other thing you can do, if you've got lots of bits, so for instance, if you had to add something for your tummy here, or if you've got fuller hips, if you're pear-shaped, you might want to add wadding to the hip area. You might need to add a little bit more to the derriere. So you can just do that by adding wadding pieces, just layering it up. And then once you've done that, wrap the whole thing in a piece of wadding, or indeed you can wrap it with cling film. Doesn't look particularly wonderful, but it will be the right size for you. So I have wrapped my dress form in just a thin layer of wadding, just so that I've got a nice smooth line. And as I said, you could actually wrap it in cling film if you like. And then I can do things like tissue fitting. Now this is a step that you can do in dressmaking. Before cutting out your fabric, you fit tissue to yourself. It's so much easier to do it on your body double here. So I can check that the centre front is in the centre. The side seams are down the side. The bust point is in the right place for my bust because it's all me in shape on here. It just makes dressmaking so much easier. So you've got an adjustable dress form which you've created your body double from. Having created your body double, you can make garments that fit you perfectly. As you can see from my pal here, she's got one of my dresses on and it fits. Now the last thing I'm going to show you with this amazing adjustable dress form from Milward is the hem marker, because it makes it so much easier to hem your garments without enlisting the aid of a friend or standing on a table as somebody tries to go round you. So we put the dress form on a table because it makes it easier for me to show you. When I do this at home, I'm normally sitting on the floor. But it's very easy. You move the hem marker up to the level you want it to be, and then you can lock it in place. And then you can bring it forward. So if you've got a fuller garment like this, you can bring it forward so that the fabric will slip in nice and easily. Now you see there is an opening here which you slot the fabric into. And then I can just turn it up by the required amount using the marking on the front here as the guide. So if I decide to make it on the 4, turn it up onto the 4 and then pop a pin in. Move it round, go to the next piece, it's on the 4, pop a pin in. So it's really quick and simple, and you can do this yourself without enlisting somebody to help you. But do always let the garment hang for at least 24 hours before hemming, just in case you have bias cut seams on the sides which can droop otherwise. And once I've pinned it close to the hem turning, I can then even up the hem allowance and then finish the hem by hand on machine. So that's it. Your Milward adjustable dress form, your best friend.